Wow. I didn't realize when last time you saw me on here that I was doing a review of Cyborg with John Van Damme, which I love. I guess you could tell because I remember stopping the recording and it was 42 minutes long, and I'm going to try to put footage. So that review could be fucking hour long review on Cyborg, but fuck it. It'll just mean, wow, this dude must be the biggest fan of Cyborg, and if people think that, or this guy has no life, well, I have a life, but yeah, watching this is a fun life, so I'm entertained. I'm fine with that. If I'm the biggest fan of Cyborg, then I'm happy to be that. So, sorry, I didn't mean for that to be an hour long or whatever, but it's like 42 minutes of me talking, and then I'll put footage in. But the reason I'm stalling is also now I'm going to talk about the sequels. Cyborg 2, 1993. Directed by a guy named Michael Schroeder, he went on to do Cyborg 3, The Recycler. He also did Relentless 2, I had to write this down. And he was actually the first assistant director for Shakedown with Peter Weller and Sam Elliott. First assistant AD also for Highlander 2 and Revenge of the Ninja. Sorry, I burped there. Having gas thinking of this movie because Cyborg 2, once again, like I mentioned briefly on my previous review of the original, which I love to death, a lot of people say that's better than this film, and I don't get it. Cyborg 2, no. Okay. I mean, a lot of people, you look at IMDb and you read through them, a lot of people just like Cyborg 2 a lot better than this, saying it's intelligent, it's a cyberpunk movie. I think the biggest thing about Cyborg 2 is it's the first starring role of Angelina Jolie. I don't think it's her first film, but it's definitely her first starring role. I think she was around 17 when she started, and then by the time they were doing it, she was 18 years old. And right, she looks wonderful, Angelina Jolie. She actually has a sex scene where you see her titties, which I'll get to later, but that's not enough to save the movie. The film also has Jack Palance, and this is right after he won the Oscar for City Slickers. It's weird, he went from City Slickers winning an Oscar to Cyborg 2. That's too bad, actually. And you also have Elias Koteas, who was Casey Jones in the first Ninja Turtles movie. You also have what's that guy's name? Billy Drago. Most people remember him from The Untouchables, but he was also the bad guy in Delta Force 2. He had a small role in Invasion USA. He was on that Masters of Horror that got a lot of flack called Imprint. It was the only Masters of Horror that was banned from cable, and seeing it, I understand why. But, okay, the film starts off, and first of all, it surprised me that KMB helped do some of the makeup effects, as well as a guy named Moni Mansano. Which, I'm like, really? KMB? Even after watching, I'm like, what the hell did they do? And, I mean, like, the opening starts, and the music's kind of cool. I mean, they show, like, the landscape, and they show, first it starts with his opening crawl, basically saying that it's the future, and there's two corporations. There's one in Japan called Kobayashi, and there's one in America called Pinwheel. And they're fighting over the control of cyborgs. And I'm like, really, it doesn't have much to do with this film. Because it's like, wait a minute, it was the plague. So was the plague cured? Is everything fine now? I guess so. I guess that's the case. But basically it shows, I guess, Angelina Jolie's cyborg being created. Which is weird because it's like they'll show like a leg and it's like being filled by, it looks like silly putty. It looks like fucking liquid silly putty, you know, filling it up. You know, but okay, whatever. It's not the worst thing I've seen, so, you know, I'll cut some slack on that. I mean, you get some nice miniatures, some decent effects of the landscape, and some good music. Although I will admit, the music in the rest of the movie sucks. Really, a lot of horrible shit. So basically, the reason I'm looking over here is I had to write shit down so I didn't forget, because this is a forgettable sequel. I don't care what anybody says. If you like the film, it's fine. I'm not going to make fun of you for it. I'm not going to be mad at you for it. I'm not going to make, But basically, we have Angelina Jolie's character. You have some footage from the original Cyborg as she's getting made, and wondering, what? Why? What the fuck? Then we're introduced to a sex scene, which I'm like, oh, okay, wow, maybe this will be good. And they have this female cyborg, they're having sex, and she explodes. You see things, and then she explodes. Basically, it's because it's this board meeting that's watching this. And I'm like, what the fuck? They're watching. Apparently, she was a cyborg, and there's this liquid explosive called Glass Shadow. And they're testing this, so, she came and blew at the same time. And the whole point of this is that the US guys, Pinwheel, developed this liquid explosive called Glass Shadow to be used for espionage. Because they want to kill their rivals, the Kobayashi. So what they decide is to have Angelina Jolie cyborg filled with this liquid explosive, Glass Shadow. She is going to be put over there to blow up and thus kill their rivals, and then they'll be fine, I guess. They'll be in control. And of note, one of the execs is actually a guy named Robert Dreyer. The reason I mentioned that is I know my friends Mike and Effrey. The film is for me, but they're really big fans of Savage Streets. And this guy, Robert Dreyer, is actually the bad guy in Savage Streets. And he's one of the execs. And then basically we are introduced to Angelina Jolie, and she's fighting with Elias Koteas as Colt. And Angelina Jolie's character is Cash. And Elias Koteas is a martial arts instructor, which is kind of hard to buy, to be honest. And then we also have Jack Palance, and for the most film, he's a character named Mercy. For the most of the film he's on TVs and such. And it's funny because you see his mouth or you see his eye. So there'll be times where you just look at the screen and there's Jack Palance like this. If you want to dine with the devil, you're going to need a long spoon. or like he's talking like, you just see his eye like, remember the difference between a champ and a chump is you. So he doesn't look down. Remember the difference between a champ and a chun. Chun, what the fuck is a chun? The difference between a champ and a chump is you. Sorry, it's me trying to do a bad Jack Palance. What the fuck is that? Why? Why is it like just a mouth like, hey, how's it going? What the fuck? What the fuck? This even shit with his here. He's all like this, he's blowing fucking bubble gum. Like, what the fuck? It's not that funny to anybody else, but what the fuck? You got an Oscar winner. Now just like see his fucking mouth and his eye. What the fuck? Like why? Why do you do that? Later you find out Jack Palance was this sort of war hero type of guy, and he was blown apart. He was a hero, so they gave him parts, and he fought back against the system. He had a love who died. And now he's helping Angelina Jolie by getting in and like being her advisor. And like she has a dream. This is how you get footage from this film. She has a dream. And basically, Jack Palance is telling how she needs a protector. Because there was one cyborg who made it. Because she had a protector. And then you see the Pearl Prophet, the girl from the first movie, and you see Van Damme kicking ass. And I'm watching this, I go, I want to see that movie. Which I did, and made a fucking like hour review on. Which is how badly I wanted to review it after seeing these two pieces of shit. But basically, they're going to use her, Elias Koteas as her martial arts instructor, and I guess lover, which I'll get to that. Jack Palance is hooked in. You only see his eyes, fucking mouth for the most part. Telling Angelina Jolie, yeah, you need to protect her. Which is fucking stupid. Because Elias Koteas' character is useless. Like, she doesn't need a protector. He doesn't do shit. The only thing he just done is, later on, he fights Billy Drago, who's this bounty hunter guy going after him, and then he fights him for money to get on a ship. That's it. That's all the guy does. The rest, he gets captured, and he gets a shit kicked out of him. What the fuck was the point of this? She doesn't need a protector. He has ass kicked. If it was Van Damme, he'd kick ass 90% of the time. What the fuck? But he Jeff tossed to Jolie, give him footage from Cyborg, film I wanted to see again while watching this. Then he talks to Elias Koteas, saying, a little bit of who he is and shit. Then, lean to, hey, get to this meeting. Then they join together. And then Elias Koteas and Angelina Jolie, I guess, are lovers as well. But you never really get that in the fact that they have no chemistry with each other. You don't buy that these two like each other or love each other. It's just, if there's sparks flying, there's none. Which is fucking crazy. She's a cyborg. You think there'd be sparks? There's no sparks at all. You really don't buy these two are in love. It just makes it silly. Jack Palance, he's in the computers. He opens the doors to show him the blown up cyborg from the girl who's having sex. Who I guess was Jolie's roommate. Although, I don't know why this cyborg then laughs like, and you're next. Like, why the fuck is she laughing? Why is she evil? But then they try to escape. You have this stupid fucking scene. She throws a gun at a guard who falls back, and as falls back, pulls the trigger and kills 5 guys behind them. So she throws the gun, hits him, goes back, kills everybody behind him. While the whole time, Elias Koteas is fighting this one guy. And, he's not much of a fighter, to be honest. That was just a stupid fucking scene, man. And, what the fuck was that about? Throwing it, Then they get in the elevator, they get shot at by this, crazy bitch cyborg, who you see later, who's a horrible actress. You think the acting in this film is bad? This girl is a horrible actress. She takes the fucking cake. And Elias gets hit near his head, and Angelina Jolie licks the blood and says, "Not bad. Mine's a little more sweet." What the fuck kind of line is that? Trying to make me puke? You're licking blood and saying, "Well, mine's sweeter." Did you lick your own blood? Angelina Jolie, are you trying to be tinky? I'm not into that kind of tink. They get out. Her glass shadow is being activated. Basically a time limit that she has 9 hours. Yeah, mess with it a little bit. Then basically they hire Billy Drago as this bounty hunter guy who's in touch with his looks to go after them. You do have a little decent scene between Elias Koteas and Jack Palance, where Elias is sleeping in his car and Jack Palance wakes him up and he accidentally punches the window. And Jack Palance says "Great job, that window will never mess with you again." If there's one good thing about this movie, it's Jack Palance. Jack Palance, I really like him. A lot of times he's over the top in his lines, but he's having fun. When Jack Palance got on screen, I actually liked the film. But it doesn't save the film. But Jack Palance was my one part I liked about the movie, to be honest. But then Jolie goes into this bar to meet someone that Jack Palance set her up with. She meets this Chinese girl, and while Billy Drago grabs Elias Koteas, he gets fucking captured. So how the fuck does he protect her? And you have this fight. She has this fight with this Chinese girl, Angelina Jolie, and it's like, not much. Basically grabs her and slams her into a wall. And then you have the evil cyborg chick, the bad actress, like, throws a rope and, like, hangs Angelina Jolie, and she's, like, going up and down a fucking noose, and then slammed into a fucking window, into a wall. So basically, Angelina Jolie is captured, Les Cotes is captured, and I'm like, man, these people are fucking shitty characters. I don't know, And basically, a chunk of Billy Drago talking to Elias Koteas, and he blows shit in Elias' eyes, and then he escapes and really has, like, a bug on him, so Billy Drago can follow them. And, like, the girl who grabs Jolie, like, dismantled her, and has, like, the fucking thing, and says something like, I can deactivate it. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, this girl wants Elias Koteas, while Billy Drago wants Angelina Jolie. I'm like, why the fuck did this cyborg bitch want Elias Koteas? Why? What the fuck? And why is she dismantling the fucking glass shadow? I thought she was working with the bank. What the fuck is this evil cyborg chick doing? Why the fuck does she want Elias Koteas? I didn't understand that. Either I was awake when watching it, but I don't understand that. And then Jolie and Elias meet up, and basically Elias telling about how, I didn't like them at first. I thought their line was perverted Pinocchios until they created you, and then fell in love with you, and you don't buy it for a fucking second. And any other shit, like, oh, but by the way, I was gonna say, when Jolie's getting hanged, every time they do a pull up, like, the music stings like, deal, 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 deal. I swear to God, the music stings like up and down like it's a fucking cartoon. I'm like, what the fuck? But then, like, when they meet up, and then the evil cyborg chick, Raven Chin was it, and Drago, they meet, and they shoot it out with each other. I'm like, what is up with this evil robot chick? Which, really, are these guys cyborgs, or are they really androids? I never knew the difference. But I know Bishop's an android, and Arnold's is a Terminator cyborg, but for some people I read said these are more like androids, but whatever, I don't give a fuck. But then, cyborg chick and Drago are shooting at each other, and she cuts up Drago's face with glass, and he's pissed. I do like, the last Coaches has one good line, because she's like, before that she goes, which is worse, cyborg envy or human envy? And Elias goes, penis envy? That was a good line. That made me laugh. I will admit that. A little bit of Casey Jones in there, but he needed more of that. But then she gets kicked and electrocuted. Jolie and Elias go in the sewers, and they must have had these tracks saved up. They go in the sewers, and you hear every cliche track of children laughing, people go, ah! Like, in the sewers. I'm like, what the fuck is this? It's like you have a library soundtrack, and you decide to just play all of it right then and there. And then they go up, and you have this guy who lets them up, who has no legs, and they're in a junkyard. They walk, and they meet up with, you actually have Tracy Walter, the guy who was Conan's sidekick and Conan the Destroyer. He's in there to, I guess, take the thing off Elias Koteas, and Jack Palance is talking. That's where he says that dumb line, remember, the difference between a champ and a chump is you. So you get some stupid lines like that. I mean, you never really get the idea that Elias and Jolie are in love. Then you finally see Jack Palance in the flesh. You realize he was a hired soldier, he's rebuilt with cyborg parts. Then you get the Angelina Jolie sex scene. And Randy, okay, 18-year-old Jolie, and you see some titties, yay! Doesn't save the movie. I'm sorry. They're nice, but doesn't save the movie. And they do a stupid decision. They cut between this sex scene and Jack Palance sitting sad, looking at a picture of his woman who has passed away and being sad. I'm like, well, are you fucking kidding me? What the fuck? Like, what kind of editing job is that? Go from a hot sex scene with Jolie's tits to Jeff Palance being sad looking at a picture. Titties! Jeff Palance being sad. I'm like, what kind of editing job is that? That's awful editing. It does not work. Just made me laugh my ass off. Like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Then basically they sent to this guy named Bobby who says, if you want to get on a boat, you need some money. And you don't have to fight someone. And then for some reason the fight, then he's fighting Billy Drago. So I guess Billy Drago got in the fight and he's gonna fight him. I'm like, really? He's not gonna get a gun and go in and just fucking blow his head off? He's actually going to get a mile fight? What kind of bounty hunter is this? And like, Billy Drago's face is all cut off from the glass. And you have a fight with Elias and, well, Elias' stunt double, or martial arts double. Because every time, and it's like on this pier with a bunch of people, and you have like a broke propeller right over here. But it's like Elias will be in close up. Every time you see a good move, it's in a wide shot where you can't see Elias' face. It's like, huh, huh. Then this wide shot, like they're over here. Phew, phew, two, huh, huh, two. Like you know it was a fight double. I know Elias coaches can't do that shit. I know that. You could tell because every time they did, they cut to a faraway shot where you can barely see his face and it's quickly cut. So I'm like, oh, wow, that took me out because it was easily to recognize. And it wasn't much of a fight. And it ends with him basically throwing Billy Drago's face to the propeller and you don't see gore. And then they're going to go to the boat with the money and then you have these I swear to God, these guys look like a $5 version of Colonial Marines. They almost look like they have the same getup and the same headsets, but they cost like $5. And finally you get Jeff Palance, who comes in and goes, a great line, if you want to dine with the devil, you're going to need a long spoon. He doesn't talk like that, but I'm just... Even though that's kind of lame, because it's basically, he's shooting, but you don't see people get hit, and he shoots his rocket launcher, and then people fly, boom. Shoot rocket launcher. Oh, explosion, people flying. But I'm like, alright, Jeff Palance, he's kicking ass. And then he gets captured, and basically, the bad guy is he has the detonation for the liquid explosion of the glass shadow. I guess hers was deactivated, but the evil robot chick, hers wasn't. But, no, I guess it has like a 2,000 mile radius or something. I guess. I think that's what the guy said, 2,000 mile radius. I'm like, really? 2,000 miles? Really? What the fuck? Wouldn't they kill you? Because they escaped from that facility, right? And I don't think they went 2,000 fucking miles. So I swear to God the guy said 2,000 miles, I swear. I'm like, what the fuck? These don't kill you, you don't kill yourself too, But I guess, I don't know, I must have misheard, but I swear to God they said 2,000 miles. And they did escape. Unless this is a completely different facility but they escaped and, they didn't get that far throughout the movie. So I'm like, that actually doesn't make sense. What the fuck? I just really don't know. That made my brain hurt. But what Jeff Palance, at the end, he's the good thing about the movie is he's about to say, kiss your ass goodbye, hits it, and then hears something, and apparently Jeff Palance took that detonation, put it in himself. And he says this great line like, I think you kissed the wrong ass goodbye. He smiles and blows the whole fucking corporation up. And then basically you have this stupid bullshit with Angelina Jolie and Elias are in the desert and they plant this palm tree. And then it cuts to a shot where he's old and Angelina Jolie's stuck with her man. God! movie ends, and like, fuck me, this movie's bad. Okay, I know this is a long-ass review again, but Jeff Palance is the one good thing in the movie. I would rather have seen his story. And if he could say that line as well at the end, but make it so that he would live, but these ordinary humans would die. Because, you know, if he's cyborg or part cyborg, like somehow he would live and these humans would die. Like, he kissed wrong ass goodbye. That'd be a great movie. Jeff Palance starring in it, him being the lead. It would have been great, but no. Angelina Jolie is not a good actress in this movie. Okay, this has been, you know, great. It's her first starring role. It's rough. But I didn't give good notices to Arnold Schwarzenegger and fucking Hercules in New York. Angelina Jolie, I don't think she's a good actress in this. Elias Koteas is kind of bland through most of it. He has a handful. I mean, I like Elias Koteas, so, you know, it's better him than some no-nuts, no-name motherfucker. But at the same time, he's done better. Watch him as Casey Jones and the 1990 Ninja Turtles, much better. So, at times he was okay, but at times he was kind of bland. I mean, he had some good fine moments. But the film is boring. There's not that many action scenes. You know, Angelina Jolie has, like, little teeny fights, and Elias Cody is not the protector. He has one fight with Billy Drago, and that's it. It's not much action at all. It's very boring. It's not intelligent, despite what people think. The whole thing with the 2,000... They say 2,000 mile. Even if it was 200 mile, they didn't travel 200 miles. They don't... And if there's an explanation, they did not explain it that well. Because I know I saw the movie from beginning to end. It's boring. It is cheap, but okay. It's tedious. You get stupid shit and editing, like from a sex scene to Jeff Palance being sad. Why couldn't he talk like this? You know, looking into a camera instead of just his eye or his fucking mouth. Like it's a fucking mouthwash commercial or some shit. Why? And Angelina Jolie sucks in this. I'm sorry, she looks good, but she still sucks. She's done better stuff, believe me. And it has very boring action scenes, and you don't buy that these two people are in love at all. The music sucks, except the opening. They say makeup can be, but what makeup? Like, maybe this stuff on Billy Drago's face, but that's not saying much. This is not a gory film at all. You don't see really much violence at all either. And there's not a lot of ass kicking. There's not a lot of fight scenes at all. What, the scene where she throws the gun and the guy falls back and kills everybody behind him? Well, Elias has a fight with Billy Drago. For the most part, it's his fucking fight double. Elias Koteas' fight double. Jack Palance coming in and just shooting grenade launchers or whatever, and people blowing up. Oh, a bunch of guys flying with explosion. Really not handled that well. So, yeah, Michael Schroeder doesn't know how to handle action that well. I'm sorry. And, yeah, the movie sucks. One more time going it sucks. And what sucks even more is the next one, Cyborg 3. God help me. I gotta review Cyborg fucking 3. Holy shit. But Cyborg 2 being better than this, I call bullshit. So Cyborg 2 is bad. Unfortunately, Cyborg 3 is worse. Stay tuned next time, and I'll show you the horror show.